Yo, what's up, guys? Blizzard just dropped a bomb on us, basically saying that they are going to be tweaking Unholy DKs, specifically with their Summon Gargoyle, and how it snapshots going forward for the rest of the expansion. They are, of course, testing this adjustment, and they are keeping a close eye on it to see how it really affects the meta and if DK play significantly falls off or anything. But let's jump right into it. I'm going to tell you what's going on, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on how this will probably play out. So basically, what they said is they first describe how snapshotting works, and how, in theory, a DK could have somewhere around 370% haste, and then snapshot that haste with their Summon Gargoyle, even though it might only last like 2 seconds, that moment of like a haste capture, and then use that snapshot on their Summon Gargoyle to cause this Summon Gargoyle to be insane and just laser the target that it's attacking. Well, they're basically changing it so that it is functioning as a dynamic spell in that case. So this is a pretty significant nerf to Unholy DK. Of course, it is a big nerf, but I think there is a big, humongous overreaction happening right now in the community. This is not nearly as bad as you think that it is. Unholy is still going to do really, really good damage. I think classes like Demo Lock and Affliction Lock will start to make their appearance in the #1 spot on some meters because of this. I think Assassination Rogues have their moments where they will be topping Unholy DKs. I think Frost DKs will even do really well. I think no matter what, going into Ulduar, basically every single boss in the entire raid is going to last longer than any boss in Naxxramas for the most part, and we all know that longer fights don't work well with Unholy anyway, so they're kind of getting nerfed by the next phase just to begin with. This is going to work out actually pretty well. I think this is a healthy adjustment to Unholy DK, actually. I personally, I wouldn't have touched it. I don't think getting your hands on as a developer and messing with the meta is a good decision ever in a game like this, in Classic, where we're playing a game that's 10 years old. But I do think this was a healthy decision, so I will give Blizzard some credit there. I do think like Unholy DK was getting a bit out of hand. Essentially, how this is going to affect Unholy DK players moving forward is their rotation will become a lot more predictable in the opener. It's no longer, waiting for every single proc to go off and then you snapshot it. I doubt there's going to be any more meta gem swapping. I doubt that there's going to be, unless of course, I guess if you wanted to hold that meta gem swap until your gargoyle is finished. Yeah, this could still be pretty degenerate. I'm sure DKs will find ways to make this degenerate, but overall, this should play out to make Unholy DKs actually easier to play for the average player. It'll bring that skill ceiling down a bit. And then the floor will also raise, so that people who aren't snapshotting properly are essentially getting handicapped by the fact that it's not a snapshot, and it's just going to dynamically update as their character dynamically gets more buffs, like with their procs and lust and everything. So it should work out decently well. Unholy is still going to do really good damage. I think it just makes the rotation a bit easier. I think the question now is, what about Army of the Dead? Does Army still is casting Army still worth it? Is Army still snapshotting even though Gargoyle isn't? Does Army do so much less now because we're not snapshotting it? Do we just push it off the table entirely and pre-pull it just like Frost DKs? I think that's a big question to help figure out as we move forward into the testing of this now dynamic Gargoyle summon. So really interesting stuff by Blizzard here, coming at a very interesting time. So I'm really, really excited to see how Unholy performs in Ulduar. If you want any more details about what's going on here, I will leave a link to this blue post in the description of this video below. If you have any questions about Unholy DK, feel free to ask in the comments below or hop on my Discord. I'm happy to try to answer as best as I possibly can. But I just want to make sure everyone isn't overreacting to this news. It's definitely a red alert, but it's not the end of the world. You do not have to re-roll a class because Unholy is suffering a bit of a nerf here. It's going to be okay, and I'm telling you, Unholy is still going to be very, very good in Phase 2. And in Phase 3, Unholy is peaking in Phase 3. So, hang tight, guys. It's going to be okay. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for clicking on and watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.